we typically don't extend it beyond the third place. So that's why you may see 7 exhibitors in the ring representing 4 species. The judge is going to use a score sheet, and he's going to rank each exhibitor, and at the end, the exhibitor that has the highest ranking is going to be your winner. All of our exhibitors today receive a medal, and the top 2 receive $100 for the reserve, and the overall gets $200, sponsored by Lefties Catering. So we appreciate the sponsorship by Lefties, and we are almost ready to roll here. We do have some show programs up here if you are interested who the exhibitors are. And you'll notice that their back tags are not the same as what they are in the program. They are listed as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is to make things easy for the judge. His score sheet also says 1 through 7. And he is able to see the numbers as he ranks them. I'm not going to announce the names of the exhibitors until the very end. This is to keep some anonymity going on throughout the show. And I'm also not going to tell you what species they're representing until the very end as well. The exhibitors are not allowed to use their own animals or animals that come from a family member. So they are borrowing animals from other exhibitors throughout the 4-H and FFA programs here. And so sometimes it's a little bit challenging to find animals that aren't their own. Definitely want to extend a big thank you to those exhibitors who are lending their animals to the elite showmanship exhibitors today. We know that it takes effort to get the animals ready for show, so we appreciate your effort into making this show a success. Our judge today is Gary Kubicek from Firth. He was out at the Seward County Fair watching his grandkids competing in the bucket calf show earlier today. So, second county fair of the day for Gary. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Nice job by these young people. It's awfully warm out here, and definitely these pigs are going to get a lot hotter as if we drive them a lot more. And I know some of them didn't work as well as they would have liked to have, but you know, that's what you get when you bring something out here that's not yours and you haven't worked with it. And sometimes they just don't respond quite as well as you like to. But I think the young people did an awfully nice job of working with them and working really hard of trying to get these pigs out in the center of the ring, get me a good look, a good eye contact, and that's one thing about it. Even though there's some of these might have had a more difficult time with getting the pig out, they still knew where I was at. They knew what I was doing and what I was trying to do with them, and I think overall an awfully good group. A nice job by all of these. Great job.
After they put their swine away, they will be exhibiting beef next. We'll be, maybe if some of the dads over there can help us open that end pen, we'll be using the pen on the end for the in and out gate. Thanks, Lindsay.
Fine job. Let's give these young people a round of applause as they go on out. Great job. I think a very competitive group. I think if you watch these and the control that they all had, did a great job. The way they got them set up, great job. They were quick to the point. They were alert. They knew where I was at all time. I think it's a very, very close class in this group here. And my hat's off to these individuals because these are calves that aren't theirs. They don't know anything about them, you know. And the thing is, you know, I don't go around and ask a lot of questions because how are they going to know what the calf was being fed or what the average daily gain was or when they were born or any kind of other questions. So this is truly, I'm judging this as truly a showmanship class and how good they do with that animal and how well they work with it. Yeah, and it doesn't make any difference how good the animal is, but it's how they present it and making it look the best it possibly can. These people really did an extremely good job, so it was really, really close in this group.
As we move away from beef, we are going to begin meat goat next. We'll end with the sheep.
Again, a round of applause for these young people. They're working awfully hard. They're doing a good job, and very, very competitive group. And I like the group. I think they've been taught well. I think they've been, some of those that might not have as much experience aren't as smooth or as natural at it, but they work really hard at it and getting those animals into position. And I think they've just done an awfully good job. Nice job by all these. Okay, we can go on out. Relax.
Next is our fourth and final division, the sheep, in our elite showmanship competition.
Well, I think as we look at this group here, it was one I struggled a little bit as far as getting these to get, proper points in this, and of course it's going to affect the overall in this. But as we look at this group here, there's done, and I've done this in another class also, where I will probably give maybe 2 individuals the same points, or 3 individuals the same points, because they're that close. They really don't divide themselves, but they're definitely deserving of it. Whereas other classes, I may have just gone 1 through 7 and put the class placing on it. And this one here again, we see some that will get similar points on the placings, and it won't really hurt them in the end, but it'll keep them there because they need to be that high so that they're competitive in the overall. So congratulations to these. Great job. Again, I appreciate it. You can go on out, cool down, and then come on in.
After the animals are all situated back in their pens, we ask the exhibitors to return to the ring. Feel free to grab a drink of water before you do so, though. Sure. Yeah, if you can give me like 1 through 7, that'd be great.
Thank you. See me day for it pretty well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I didn't need to do a lot until they were too hot. And then it was trying to hit those errors, like we got to set it off. But by that point, you're so tired and hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to say a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I can even talk. I can even talk about each one.
Great.
Like even some things that I saw and kind of, you know,
Great. I think that's a great
I'd like to do
idea.
that.
Way everybody knows what they did right hand.
Exactly. The type of showman that they are. Things that I saw was somebody else judging, they can say, well, that's not the good. Like, some people may get real critical about t-shirts. Well, today, I don't know how many kids go there and do it. Show rank, you know. So why would I give a kid that did a show or two or whatever? Hey, yeah, throw me to the wall. Anybody Christian. Well, that's okay. I understand. I understand. They'll drop it off. More over there. Okay, we got it covered. We're good. Okay.
All right, let's give our exhibitors a big round of applause. They worked hard out there. So before I turn it back over to the judge, I want to give a second to recognize each of the exhibitors. So representing the beef species, Tatum Schroeder and Hayden Warner. Representing sheep is Jordan Musel and Grant Musel. Representing swine, Miles Esau. Representing meat goats, Corbin Kuntz and Emma Wallenberg. All right, at this time, I'm going to hand it back over to the judge so he can talk about each showman just a little bit, and then we will award our awards sponsored by Lefty's Catering.
Okay. Well, great job. Really, great job. I love the way you worked out there. I love the things that you did. You all had a lot of good things. There's some things that I saw today that I probably didn't like as much. Maybe some other judge would overlook it. But that's kind of my opinion today and what I was looking for and how I tried to put it together. I will say that there's some of you that, or some of these areas that, is that on, right? No, I'm not talking close enough. There we go. That some of you probably fell into first place with others, and that doesn't hurt you in any way. It actually helps, but it also keeps you in contention. Some of you that maybe had some bigger issues, maybe dropped down more, but I think overall just a great group. And so we'll talk about each one of these, and we'll give them a little information. From what I saw with number one, a young lady here, she is a very complete showman. She's very relaxed in the way she shows. She probably doesn't overshow, probably doesn't get overly aggressive. I think she just does her job very well, and that's good. I like that. You know, I think everybody here at some point in time had a problem with their animal. Okay, so we kind of overlook some of those things and say, okay, well, we understand that, but she just does a great overall job. She probably doesn't hit you right away like, hey, here I am, but you always turn around and look, and there she is, and she's setting her animal up, and she's doing her job. Great job, young lady. Job. Young man here. Yeah, sure, give her a round of applause. She did do a good job, and I'm sure there's favorites, and there's a favorite right here. All right, that's good. I like that. Young man here. Here's an individual that stepped forward. Here, just step ahead a little bit so they know who I'm talking about, all right? Well, they probably do, but that way I don't forget. Here's one that's probably a little more intense shower, and that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Some judges really, really like that. Some judges will be critical of that. I think he does it in a way that's very natural for him, and that's important. If you're doing it and it's kind of fake, nah, I don't like that either, but he does it in a very natural way. It fits him very well in the way he shows. He's probably a little more aggressive showman, but that's the way he likes likes to do it, and he likes to show you that, hey, he's got control and he knows where he wants to get it, does a great job of knowing where he needs to get it. One of the things about a really good showman that I've always told people is that once you get to be a really good showman, you feel that animal. You feel if a foot is out of place. You feel if it's turning a little bit. You feel if it's out of line. And that's what makes a really good showman. And I feel that you do that. You feel it in yourself, whether you're holding a calf or you're in a goat or whatever. You know, if you're holding a goat and that back leg moves, you feel that. You don't have to see it. You just know it's not in position. So that's what makes a really good showman. I think you do a really good job at that. Nice job today. Young lady here, I think here's one that I think, and each of these, I'm going to say this about all of them, it may be about her, but you can tell where they're more comfortable with and what species you're more comfortable with. And I think as we started out with the pigs, you know, you impressed me as you were very comfortable with it. And you other did this also, okay, but I'm just going to talk about her at this time. You were very comfortable with it, and that was good that you were, and I think you got a sheep award for showmanship. But that's what you try to do with these animals when you're not used to showing them. And so that's impressive when you do that and come out and do a really good job. I think maybe some other species you weren't as comfortable with, and that's okay. But you work through it, and that's what's really important. You still had good eye contact. You worked to get them in position. You had good spacing on it. Those were all good things. So you kept working at it, no matter whether you were comfortable or not. I think you kind of covered some of those things up, which is very good. Great job by this young lady. Give her a round of applause. Young man, I think here's one that, and I think you did get the swine award, and you definitely demonstrated when you come out and you come out of the pen and you were right out, you drove the pig out, got it in position where you wanted it to have, and you showed me a lot of different views of it, and you know, right away, you know, that you had great control, and you told me this individual's going to be serious about this, and you were, and so that was good. And then as we went to the other species, you had great effort in trying to do the same thing. And you had the good eye contact, you had the good motion, you did a great job of leading around and all those things. So it just does a really good job. You're very consistent from one species to the other. Now I know you weren't as comfortable on some as others, but that's okay, buddy. You did a great job. Give him a round of applause. Young lady, she is very intense at times, and she just really gets into this, whether it's bracing a lamb or a goat or whatever, that she just really gets dialed in quick. She's quick to the setup, and she's quick to the point of where she needs to be. And you need to be that way. You know, if you get to the point where you're supposed to set up and you're not getting set up all the time, then it creates challenges. Now, that lamb, you might want to slap it around a little bit out in the back barn, but that's okay, you know. And you also might want to get a decent halter that doesn't slip off every time either, but that's okay. It's all right. Those things happen. I don't care if it's in elite showmanship or whatever. It does. Great attitude of coming back and getting it set up. And really, you killed it on some of your setups on that lamb. I really appreciate the hard work and the things that you did to do that. Overall, just a great, intense showman. Very focused. And yet, you can tell that she knows what her job is and how to do it. So great job. Give her a round of applause. Man, I got to look up to you. I tell you what. I tell you, you know, when you come in the ring, I thought, well, he's going to have fun with that little goat or lamb or whatever is going to come in. Here's one that, hey, I had the same problem. I'm not as tall as you, but I had the same problem when I was showing livestock. You know, being taller, you know, is a little more difficult and to be smooth and to work with it. Of course, in the cattle, you just knocked it out of the park. I mean, you did. You just, man, you fit in so so well with your animal and the way you presented it, great job. Maybe not as comfortable with some of the other species, and that's okay. But I liked your effort, you know, whether it was with a pig or whatever it was. You just did a great job of trying to get that animal out where I can see it. You knew what you were supposed to do, what people told you to do, and I could see that in you, and you just worked really hard at it. May not have gone that way all the time for you, but I love the effort. Great job. Good job. Wait, what, you got what? You got a pig? You got a pig or sheep? Oh, you got the sheep medal, okay. I think here's an individual that coming out in the first class that, you know, with the pigs, again, you know, right attitude, you know, and I don't care if you come out of a pen, I don't care if you come through that gate or wherever, you got to have a good attitude coming in, and you've got to have good eye contact. You got to be focused. You got to know where you want to go. And I think this young man did a great job with the pig, and I appreciate that, because you come out, you drove your pig out here, and others did too. But I really appreciate that, and I thought, well, here's going to be somebody that's going to be contention, you know, in this division, and you did a great job. So just from the very beginning, and sometimes people forget this. Now, I will say this, there may have been some others in here that got better as they went along and impressed me a whole lot more with some of the divisions that they were in than they did in their first division. But you kept that consistency from the beginning and all the way down through all the species, and some of them you just did a fabulous job. Some of them, again, you weren't as comfortable, but a great job. Give him a round of applause. Good job. We need a champion reserve. That's what you need. Well, I will tell you this, you know, I did add up the scores, and of course low score would win, and as it turned out, I did have champion, and I had a tie for second, and they were pretty close, and so I just made a decision on who I thought did a little better job overall, and that's what this is. It's an overall showmanship deal. And so today we'll announce the champion and the reserve. For your overall champion today is exhibitor number 3. And that is, who are you? You got to tell everybody.
I'm Jordan Musil.
Thank you. And for second place, the second place we had a tie between 1 and 4, and I broke the tie. 1, you'll be reserved.
Thank you.
Sorry I had to do it. I just did. You'll hate me for the rest of your life, I know. Great job.